All right, in the crypto space, there's one question that every new project has to answer. How do you prove you're the real deal? Well, today we're diving into a project called Qubitcoin, and their secret weapon for building credibility, it's not the code, believe it or not. It's the people, the crew they've put together. So let's break down exactly how they're pulling this off.
I mean, think about it. This is the big challenge for any new proof of work project, right? You're launching into this ocean of forks and clones. It's just so noisy. So how on earth do you signal to everyone, we're talking miners, developers, exchanges, that you're not just another flash in the pan, that you're a serious contender here to actually innovate?
Well, the answer is right there. It comes down to assembling an absolutely undeniable team. And Qubitcoin's whole approach shows us that having the right people on your side, the right advisory team, can make all the difference. We're going to see how each member was picked for a very, very specific role in this mission.
So let's talk about that mission. And make no mistake, it is a huge one. They're trying to achieve a genuine breakthrough in proof of work. And, that's a space where real, true innovation is just so rare these days. A goal like that, yeah, you're going to need a very, very specialized crew.
Okay, first piece of the puzzle. How do you deal with the instant skepticism you're going to face when you claim you've made some kind of scientific breakthrough? The eye rolls, the doubts. Simple. You bring in an academic, a specialist who can actually validate your core ideas. And that brings us to the first archetype, the scholar. So think of this person as your senior researcher, your seasoned academic cryptographer. And listen, their role is not just for show. For a project like Qubitcoin, which is digging into super complex ideas like quantum simulation, this person provides absolutely essential scientific legitimacy. They bring the rigor. Now, let's really think about the impact here, what this actually does. Having a scholar on board immediately tells the entire technical community, hey, this isn't just some marketing fluff or pseudoscience. It means your white paper basically gets a peer review before it even goes public. All those hidden, sneaky assumptions, they get found and fixed. And the result? The protocol itself just becomes way stronger, way more solid from a mathematical standpoint.
But here's the thing, a brilliant protocol is totally useless if it just collects dust in a lab, right? So the next person you absolutely need is the one who bridges that gap between pure theory and the actual messy real-world market. And this person is the market operator.
And this is the criticism they're up against. You've heard it a million times, right? Oh, it's just another fork with a slick marketing campaign. That's the default assumption for any new PoW chain. And the operator's entire job is to systematically prove that assumption wrong, piece by piece.
So, enter the operator. This is your builder, your business guru. This is the person who rolls up their sleeves and dives into all the messy, practical work of adoption. We're talking scaling teams, hammering out partnerships, and, actually getting the thing into the hands of real users.
What the operator really does is prevent the project from becoming one of those technically impressive, but ultimately failed projects. They're the ones handling the nitty-gritty, from onboarding miners to getting wallet integration sorted. But maybe most importantly, they're the storyteller. They're the one who crafts the narrative that explains why any of these cool tech innovations actually matter to you and me. All right, next up, we've got a role that honestly truly sets a project like Qubitcoin apart. We're not talking about theory anymore. We're not talking about marketing. We're talking about the physical world of mining hardware. This is where the rubber meets the road, where great ideas either fly or die. Yeah, this advisor is just different. This is the person who sends a massive signal to a very small, very niche, but incredibly important audience. They are the ones who look at this person and know, okay, something really different is happening here. We're talking about the hardware expert.
And for Qubitcoin, that person is Michael Dubrovsky. This guy is a legend for his deep expertise in mining hardware and this really cutting-edge field of optical proof of work. So when you bring him on board, it's not just another name on a website. No way. It's a massive signal of intent to the entire mining community.
And his impact is absolutely huge. Just having Dubrovsky involved instantly puts Qubitcoin into this tiny, exclusive club of projects that are seriously trying to innovate in proof of work. He brings a level of credibility that's just off the charts. And he helps them dodge that classic bullet, the one, designing a protocol that sounds amazing on paper, but is completely useless in the real world of actual physical hardware. Okay, for our final piece, we need to look inward, because beyond all the external advisors, a project needs an internal anchor. It needs a technical and cultural North Star,
someone who really defines its identity, its soul. And this is where you see a really powerful contrast emerge. On one side, you've got your typical VC-built project, right? It's often run by marketing departments, focused on hype cycles. But on the other side, you have this hacker-scientist culture that Qubitcoin is aiming for. This is a culture driven by real engineers, focused on rapid iteration. And it's this cool blend of physics and deep systems thinking. This entire culture really gets embodied by one person, the in-house genius. For Qubitcoin, that's a figure known as SuperPlank. And we're not just talking about a lead developer here. This person is something more. They're the source of the project's stories, its lore, its very identity, the one who creates that community mythos. And the long-term impact of having a figure like this is just profound. They create what you could call a mythos effect, kind of like what you see with Satoshi or Vitalik. They become a personality anchor that holds the whole community together. And it signals this deep authenticity that you just can't fake or cook up in a corporate boardroom. It's the ultimate signal that this project is built different. So, what happens when you put all of these pieces together? The scholar, the operator, the maverick, and the genius? Well, the real power isn't just in any one of them. It's about what happens when they combine forces. It's about creating a project that is fortified and incredibly credible from every angle. You can literally think of it as an anti-bullshit shield. Seriously, each advisor adds another layer of defense. You get the scientific grounding from the scholar, you get market readiness from the operator, you get that hardware realism from the maverick, and you get that core community identity from the genius. You stack all that together, that is a formidable defense against any criticism that comes your way. And what's the result of all this? This shield completely transforms how the project is perceived. To the entire outside world, the message becomes crystal clear. This is not another meme coin. This is a serious research chain with serious backing. And that, in turn, directly impacts everything. We're talking exchange listings, miner adoption, and its ability to attract the best of the best when it comes to developers. So the bottom line is this. The entire project is transformed. It goes from being dismissed as, oh, it's just another Bitcoin fork with some new ideas, to being seen as a serious contender for the next major breakthrough in proof of work. That is the power of putting together the right team. And all of this leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. When you have the right people in place, a team that has been perfectly built for a mission of genuine innovation, you have to wonder, what breakthrough might they actually achieve next?